This is album number 12, I believe, for Amorphis. Under the Red Cloud is what we're going to be talking about right now. And it's interesting because this is the second album that Amorphis has done since Tomi Joutsen became vocalist that has not had a concept revolving around Kalevala. Their first four albums with Tomi Joutsen, Eclipse, Silent Waters, Skyforger, and The Beginning of Times, were all about Kalevala, and maybe even before that, if I remember right, with albums such as Far From the Sun, Am Universum. But Under the Red Cloud is very conceptually different. They had the same man, I believe his name is Pekka, write the lyrics. And it's just interesting because Amorphis has always been known as the band that writes about Kalevala and whose lyrics revolve around that epic. But Under the Red Cloud, a very different take. And actually has a lot more harsh vocals than some of their previous albums. Circle, their last album, definitely reintroduced the idea of having a lot of harsh vocals back into Amorphis. And Under the Red Cloud does that even more so. There are tracks that don't even have cleans at all, such as the Four Wise Ones. And the Skull, the only clean part is the chorus, and the same thing with Bad Blood, which are also really standout tracks for this album. Along with the single Death of a King, one of the first tracks we heard off of this album. It's definitely different, but it's still solid, as Amorphis always has written. They've always written very solid material. Ever since the Carillion Isthmus, their debut album back in the 90s, they have always written really solid material. And tracks such as the title track, Under the Red Cloud, Death of a King, The Skull, Tree of Ages, and if you have the deluxe edition, I believe it's the deluxe edition anyway, like I do, you have tracks, the bonus tracks, Come the Spring and Winter's Sleep, and believe me, if you don't have the deluxe edition, please buy it just for those bonus tracks, because they're absolutely amazing. And then to round out the album, we have the track White Knight, which is a great bookend. That's one thing I always look for in an album, is great bookends. Under the Red Cloud opens it perfectly, White Knight closes it perfectly, at least for the main album. Winter's Sleep definitely also is a great bookend if you have the deluxe edition. And tracks such as Tree of Ages and White Knight definitely bring out a more folk side from this band, which is definitely interesting because we haven't really seen that since maybe Skyforger, maybe as far back as Tales from the Thousand Lakes or Am Universum. But it's definitely new. Well, not new, but it's definitely welcoming. And definitely a great sound because we haven't heard it from them in years. And the whole concept of Under the Red Cloud is just straight out solid. It's great. And they haven't really... They didn't really put any bad tracks on this album at all. They've always had solid songwriting. They've always had solid production. The vocals are absolutely amazing. The keys, which are a little bit more prominent than usual, especially on Under the Red Cloud, definitely great. The bass is a little bit more prominent too, the bass guitar, which is also really great. They bring out the best of every instrument, and they do a great job with it. It's solid songwriting, solid production, and there's just not really much wrong with this album. I wish it was a little bit longer just so I could enjoy it a little more, but I'm not going to count off for that because it's already a good hour long, if not longer. And it's just an overall solid album. I know I keep repeating myself, but I really don't have much else to say other than that it's a very solid album. I'm definitely gonna have to give this like an 89, 90 out of 100. Great album from Amorphis yet again. Um, Circle was great. Broke the top 10 of my 2013 albums. Even though I know I wasn't making videos then. And Under the Red Cloud is probably going to end up doing the same thing. Amorphis has always been one of my favorite bands. Am I being a little bit biased with this score? I don't think so. I think that this is a very solid score, very solid album from a very solid band. So I really can't wait to see what these guys deliver next in the coming years, because it's definitely going to be worth it. Let me know what you guys think of Under the Red Cloud by Amorphis in the description, or in the comments below, excuse me. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this, dislike it if you dislike it. Hit that subscribe button, because there are going to be more that we're going to be talking about throughout today and the rest of the week. So definitely stay tuned, because you are not going to want to miss what's next. I'll see you guys later.